Now trapped underground, Camel T and I are forced to survive the extremely difficult challenge created by the unnaturally cold world, where if we die, we stay dead. Prolonged time away from the heat causes us to freeze and die. This was the most difficult challenge I have ever attempted. Having now made it underground, we begin with day 1. Stuck in the mineshaft with very little health and no food, our priority was to gather as many resources as possible. In order to continue to survive, we needed food to regain health and become stronger so that we could fight off the mobs.
Oh God. Oh, you got him. I'm letting you do
Back
the
up.
big heavy lifting here.
Potato! Skeleton. Oh my
Get
God.
out.
Block. No!
Oh, I'm on 2 hearts.
So here's the game plan. We make our way to the surface enough to get dirt. And we use the bones that I have 13 bones, and we can at least get some amount of food with that. And that'll give us the freedom to go mining, get resources in that big room that we started in, right? So what we'll do is we'll just place torches everywhere in that room to prevent mob spawns, and that will be our home.
That's a good plan.
That's the game plan. After gathering as much as possible from the mineshaft, we went as close to the surface as possible to get iron for armor, dirt for a farm, and coal for torches, and heat so that we would not freeze to death. With the dirt and a single potato, we farmed enough food to start our base. We began by lighting up the giant cave with torches so that no mobs would spawn nearby. We ran out of torches quickly, so I went mining for coal. Oh, I'm getting cold. Oh my gosh, I don't have heat. I gotta go. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's lava. I gotta go. Oh my gosh. Heat. Oh my goodness. After my close call, I met back up with Camel, and then we mined loads of wood from the mineshaft so that we could make more torches to completely light up our area. With our area completely lit up, it was now time to make a much larger potato farm to supply a stable source of food. Now, with our stable food source, we needed a safe place to stay. We started terraforming the cave so that we could build a house. Camel, being the better builder, started working on our home while I went to gather resources for the build. Towards the end of the day, we met back up, finished our home, and did some decorating.
It's kind of cozy.
It's warm, it's safe, it's warm. That's what matters.
It's really all that is.
With our area lit up and our home constructed, we finally felt safe. Now satisfied with our progress and ready to conclude our day, we went to sleep in preparation for day 2. Starting the day, the world felt colder than normal. First, we wanted to explore our area to see what the caves had to offer. In order to set out on our journey, we first needed a large supply of food to take with us. But our farm had not produced enough food for the journey. In order to grow our crops faster, we killed skeletons in the mineshaft for bone meal. Now, with a healthy supply of food, we set out for our journey to explore the caves around us. On our journey, we found our first friend. Hey, a chicken.
Oh, chicken. Can I name it? Watch out, creeper.
Moving past that situation, we continued to move through the area. We then found and explored a mineshaft, making sure to stop and gather a lot more wood, since this was a very limited resource.
Oh, lush cave.
Let's go, run. Let's go. Oh, there's a mineshaft in it too. Finding the lush cave was a great relief, as this was our only source of greenery, such as moss and azalea trees. We were now able to farm trees for wood. While in the lush cave, we found 2 axolotls, one pink and one yellow, which we named Jeffrey and Rex. Satisfied with the results from our journey And with our new friends, we now set back out to our home. After spending too long finding our way back to the house, we finally arrived back home. Our first priority was to use the moss in our cave, just like it was grass. Moss was the closest thing to grass that we could get without risking our lives. In order to spread the moss, we first needed more bone meal. I set back out to the skeleton spawner in order to turn it into a farm. While I was out, Camel was building an environment for our new friends. Using bone meal from the skeleton farm, Camel and I grew more moss on the floor of our cave. Once finished, we went to the outer edges of the cave and grew trees to make it feel as close to the surface world as possible. With our area green and full of life, satisfied with our new friends and our progress for the day, Camel T and I went to bed in order to be ready for day 3. In fear of the ever-increasing threat of mobs, we decided it was time to upgrade our gear. The only way for us to become stronger was with the enchantment table. But without access to the surface, we had no way of getting paper or leather for a book to craft one. The only way to get a book was to find an enchanted book and remove the enchants. On the start of the 3rd day, we immediately set out on the journey to find an enchanted book. After an incredible amount of time searching mineshafts and spawners, after spending 1/4 of the day on our journey, we finally arrived back home to upgrade our gear.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I said.
So, we got what we set out for. 1 enchanted book. A book!
Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah.
Bam. Exhausted from the journey, we decided to do some casual base work. I cleaned up our area by removing some of the deep slate, while Camel worked on a boat racing track that he named Camel Cart. After some time building and mining, we both decided to take a break and test out the new track.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I got an idea.
That's cheating.
No, you broke your boat.
Cheating!
No, you broke your boat.
You cheated!
I won anyway.
You cheated.
No, I didn't.
After finishing the race, we needed to get back to work. I mined more blocks and placed more moss around the base. Camel built a windmill that he wanted to turn into a roller coaster. Being trapped underground, it was important to have things to entertain us and distract us from the circumstances. 2 zombie villagers wandered into our area. Knowing that we could cure and trade with them, I decided to trap them. With very little time in the day remaining, we hid them in the ground so that we could cure them tomorrow. Despite the surface and the world getting colder, things were looking great. We had created an amazing, lush, green area. Ready for the next day, Camel and I went to bed, ready to start day 4. We started the day off with another race, and this time, I won. Oh, this is it! This is it! I win. With that done, I wanted to cure the villagers. The only thing I needed was a weakness potion. The fastest way to get one was with a witch, since they have a low chance to throw one. In the process of finding a witch, I was able to find a chicken, our first animal. I made sure to lock him in our windmill so that nothing bad could happen to him. It was now time to cure the villagers. Hey, help, 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 help!
Okay. Oh, no. I'm on half a heart. I'm on half a heart.
Go in the house. No! Afraid to keep trying to cure the villagers, I moved the witch away. I was not willing to risk my life anymore. Devastated by the loss of my friend and pet, I decided to go back to the lush cave and find another axolotl. After being lost for some time, I found my way back to my base, naming the axolotl Jeffrey to honor his memory. Getting back to my base, I made sure to check the chicken. Where's the chicken? Hello? Where is the chicken? What? Don't tell me he's dead too. Why? What happened? Come here. Whopper. Jeffrey. Okay. Steak. That's frustrating and really sad. I've lost the chicken. I lost Jeffrey. I lost Rex and Camel in one day. Day 4 was like no other. I had just experienced immense loss, and I was frustrated. I was ready for the day to be over with. Being devastated and frustrated, I went to bed. On day 5, I woke up to total darkness. Almost all of the torches had become extinguished due to the severe cold. Mobs now surrounded me, and the fear of death loomed over me. With no heat and light, I needed a stronger source of heat that would not extinguish. I quickly decided on making campfires. In order to not freeze, I had to act fast. I had almost no coal. I needed to go mining for more. Having already mined most of the coal in my area, it was extremely difficult to find more. Before setting out, I needed to kill the zombie villagers and the witch. I refused to risk my safety trying to cure them. Arriving back to the base safely, it was time to make a lot of campfires. Despite having many campfires placed, it was not enough. Mobs were still everywhere, and I did not feel safe. I needed to set back out mining again. This time, I needed to go further in order to get more coal. I knew that going back was a risk to my safety, so I spent time upgrading my gear and my source of food. I enchanted more armor and combined it in the anvil to make it stronger. I also used all of my gold and a few carrots I farmed to make golden carrots. With better gear and food, I set back out. Instead of just gathering coal, I gathered everything I could find. I was unsure if it would be safe to go back out in the future. I spent as much time mining as possible. After mining as many resources as I could, I headed back to my base. Now with the coal I mined, and after spending some time farming trees, I made as many campfires as I could. I placed them everywhere. I decided to do base work. With it being the end of the day, I only had time to remove all of the extinguished torches and clean up the farm. I was warm and the area was lit. I finally felt safe again. With a productive day under my belt, I went to bed ready for day 6. Waking up on day 6, the world did not feel colder. Ignoring that fact, I got my day started. Despite the memories I had with Camel Cart, I made the tough decision to remove it and make a tree farm. With all of the torches extinguished, the outer sections of my area were still dark and full of mobs. Wanting to make my area safe, I farmed trees so that I could make charcoal and craft a lot more campfires. Okay, that was productive. While I waited for the logs to turn into charcoal, I spread more moss on the outer edges of the cave. The base was nearly done. I made over 100 more campfires and placed them everywhere where I saw darkness. With nowhere for mobs to spawn anymore, I was now free to safely clean up my area. I spent some time mining the hanging blocks and cleaning up the cave. I also placed more moss. My base was looking incredible, and it was really feeling like a home. It was around this time that I noticed the roller coaster that Camel had built. No one had ever even ridden it yet. In honor of Camel, I gave it a try.
I feel at home.
It doesn't even work. Come on. Yes! 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 Forgetting what the surface world looked like, I wanted to make a pathway from the base all the way to the cave entrance. You remember when we first dropped in and it was an incredible level of stress? Remember there was 5 creepers here and we ran down this way and we thought this was a dead end, so we turned back, we went back down. Now look at this place. Look how different, look how far we've come. Well, how far I've come. I went back down to the base after soaking in the time that I got to spend near the surface and decided to grow trees and more moss in my area to make it look even more like the surface. With my area as green as I could tolerate, satisfied with a leisure day of work and enjoyment, I was ready to go back to bed to see what day 7 had in store for me. I woke up and realized something was different. It didn't feel that cold anymore. Sprinting up to the surface, I realized that it was true. It wasn't snowing anymore, and the ice was melting. I quickly remembered all of my stuff back in the cave. I ran back down, grabbed everything that I could carry, but everything that I had worked for. Everything that we had worked for. Everything that I would be leaving behind. It was tough, but I knew I did not belong down here. I made my way to the entrance of the cave, and I was free.